Solo traveler back again, and trip number 9 is a quick 2 days down to Phoenix, Arizona. On this trip, I stay at and review the JW Marriott Phoenix Desert Ridge, including its gorgeous water park and lazy river, high quality but limited restaurants, expansive suites, and 2 PGA quality 18-hole golf courses. In my free time, I take a trip downtown and begin my stadium series, having a huge meal and taking in a baseball game for the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field. And on my way home, I review Sky Harbour International Airport, including its United Lounge in Terminal 3. Let's go. It's the beginning of May, and it has been a really cold spring here in Toronto. So I am super excited to be getting away for a couple days down to the heat and sun of Phoenix, Arizona. When I arrive at Pearson Airport on this day, I'm a bit surprised actually, as the lineups are unusually long. Once I get into the security zone, I rely on my priority clearance, of course, to get into line. And we quickly find out once we get in there that the conveyor belts that they use to run baggage through the scanners in the security area weren't working. Thankfully, as I made my way into the line, the belts had been reset and they were randomly working again. So the lines started actually moving almost immediately as I got there. I was actually pretty lucky, to be honest, and a little unfortunate timing because they were running on time and they had been delayed before that. Despite this, customs was fairly empty, and once again, I got from the entrance of security right here, through immigration and up into the Air Canada lounge that I typically do in about 20 to 25 minutes or so. This gave me enough time to relax a bit, have a morning coffee, before my flight to Phoenix. The flight I had booked was an Air Canada Rouge flight. Unfortunately, Air Canada only offers a Rouge flight to Phoenix during the day. I think there's a red-eye flight, which means an overnight flight, that is a regular Air Canada plane, but I really can't fly overnight. I just cannot do red-eyes, so the daytime flight was really my only option. So I reserved my seat a bit late, so I opted to move back and take a window seat. This trip was only 2 days in Phoenix, and it was pretty warm in May. So I decided what I would do is pack super light, and I challenged myself and just stuffed my backpack with some clothes and bathroom essentials. This really helped because I didn't have a roller bag at all, so I didn't need to worry about any of the overhead luggage space. I could kind of board the plane when I wanted, and that was a really good thing because luggage space is pretty lacking on the older planes that they use for Air Canada Rouge. It wasn't the most comfortable flight, to be honest, but when I arrived in Phoenix, I was really excited to get through the airport as fast as I could and get out into the warm Phoenix air. Phoenix Airport is a modern and fairly well laid out airport. I'll talk about it a little bit more on my way home. And it's also home to Arizona State University, which they promote in this airport big time with big signs as you kind of walk through baggage claim area. I walked through the airport and made my way out to where the rideshare area is and all the cars pick up. There's big highways that kind of run through this zone, and I was so happy to be out in the warm air. Today it's about 15 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Fahrenheit warmer in Phoenix than it was back in Toronto where I came from, so that was really nice. One thing that's really cool about Phoenix, and I wasn't able to get a really good video of them when I was out there, are driverless taxis. A company called Waymo operates in Phoenix, and they have automated driverless cars. I've taken one before. You can actually see one driving by here, and I wanted to get one when I was there, but at the same time, I really just wanted to get to the resort I was staying in, enjoy the warmth, and make my way, of course, out to the pool. I hopped into an Uber and we made our way through downtown Phoenix, past Scottsdale and Glendale, and finally up to Desert Ridge, which is basically the northern border of the greater Phoenix area, and finally to the JW Marriott Phoenix Desert Ridge Resort and Spa. It's needless to say this resort is expansive with beautiful lawns surrounding it on all sides. You can see that here. It really is beautifully maintained. It actually has a full tennis court and pickleball complex as well, just off the front as you come in. And as you walk into the front entrance, you can see it has a classic marble and stone decor and a really relaxed feel while being luxurious at the same time. My favorite area of the hotel is the entranceway, which opens up into a grand stairway that takes you down into one of the larger lobby bar areas you'll find in resorts like this, I think. I really like this space as it gives you a space to work during the day, or you can watch a game and have a beverage in the evenings. This is also a small food menu here, so you can have a snack and a meal as well. You can see the large windows and doorway here that take you out to a huge patio with fire pits and heaters. It can still get a bit chilly here at night here in May, so the heaters and fire pits are a really nice touch. There's a lawn area just off the back of the fire pit area where there is cornhole and other types of outdoor games for families or even for adults if they want to do that. And behind the lawn area finally is a huge water park with a few different pools, a lazy river, and some water slides. They upgraded me to a suite at the resort, and it's one of the larger suites I've seen in resorts like this. An oversized couch, nice big screen TV in the living room area with a workspace. They have a second large TV in the bedroom, very big bed. The beds here are really comfortable. They're quite cozy, I find. The bathroom area is also really big. It's a simple design, nothing too fancy, but it has a cozy, comfortable feel while being large and luxurious and expansive at the same time. It's a really unique feel. Another unique feature is a completely separate room for closet space, which I found interesting. I could probably fit my entire wardrobe in here if I wanted to. These rooms also have oversized balconies with seating areas, which is really nice. It's a nice space for a morning coffee if you want, or an evening drink. Outside of the back of the resort is the Wildflower Golf Club. This golf club offers 2 PGA Championship quality 18-hole golf courses. The Arnold Palmer Signature Course and the Nick Faldo Championship Course. I'm not really much of a golfer myself, but some golf experts that I know have told me that the Palmer course is the better one of the two. If you ever want to check that out, I recommend that one. Once I got settled, I threw on my bathing suit and made my way down to the water park to soak up some warm Phoenix sun. The lazy river is a really nice feature here, and the water park area in general is really well spread out, with pools for adults and a completely separate area with a lazy river and some pretty awesome water slides and tube slides for kids and families to enjoy. I thought it was really smart to have a completely separate area for adults with a different area where the families could go. That way they could have their own space for the kids to enjoy and no one's interfering with each other. This way everyone is happy and you can pick and choose your experience. I simply wanted the best area for sunlight, which was near the lazy river. So that's where I stayed, and it was really nice, and I had some good sun tanning in the afternoon. After a good sleep and some work to get done during the day, I had a free evening. So I headed down to Chase Field to catch an Arizona Diamondbacks baseball game right in downtown Phoenix. This is the first of my stadium series, where I'll review baseball stadiums around North America, talking about the features of each park, good points, bad points, and answer the question, which parks are truly the best for catching a game? A fun fact is that I've actually seen a ball game in every major league ballpark. A couple new ones have been built since I did my trips, so I feel I have some expertise in this topic. But anyways, let's get into it. Opened in 1998, Chase Field in downtown Phoenix was a revolutionary stadium when it was opened, as it was the first U.S. stadium with a retractable roof over a natural grass surface, which they've now converted to synthetic turf. It features a swimming pool, a massive 4.4 trillion color video board, and an air-conditioned, climate-controlled environment that gives fans a break from the extreme heat of 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit temperatures all summer long. Being right downtown in Phoenix is less of a benefit than other cities, to be honest. Phoenix is known for being really spread out with lots of suburban areas, tons of different boroughs and cities all around it, but it's still a pretty good location that's pretty central and has good access to transit and highways. The front entrance offers some restaurants, and there's one entrance in particular with a restaurant that is uniquely built into the field itself and it right into the outfield seats of the stadium. This is pretty common in today's more modern parks, but it was a cool feature in 1998. Originally at TGI Fridays, it's now a chain called Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers. I decided to grab dinner here and sat down at the bar. Considering the name of this place, I went for it, one of their signature burgers, and it was called the Big Unit. This is a massive, freshly made burger, patty squished between two full grilled cheese sandwiches as buns. I got a salad with the burger, basically to feel better about life and about myself. And I did my best, but I can only get through about 2/3 of this thing. It was truly massive. Pretty tasty too, especially for a ballpark burger joint. After my huge meal, I walked around the stadium. One thing I noticed right away was a pretty good variety of different food options all the way around the stadium. There was a lot of unique offerings that I thought were pretty cool. It was actually Bark at the Park Day, so people had brought their dogs to check out the game. There was a section where all the dogs could hang out during the game. It was kind of neat. Not really sure I'm a fan of this, but everyone seemed to love it. Today was actually a bit cooler in Phoenix, so I got a special treat. We got to watch the stadium roof open up. There are also large panels in the outfield that open up as well. It was pretty impressive to watch, and once it was all opened up, the park really felt like an outdoor stadium. By comparison, the Rogers Centre in Toronto, which is also a convertible roof stadium, still feels very much like a dome when the roof is open or closed. So I thought this was a huge plus for Chase Field. The field has good seating with seats that are fairly wide and comfortable compared to other parks. They still have bench-style seats in the outfield, I noticed, particularly in left field, which I don't think that's very good. They have open bullpens for fans to watch who's warming up and heckle them if they want, which is also common in modern parks. And some nice displays around the park where their championship team, I think it was 2001, and some of the best Diamondback players in the franchise history all being remembered. I thought that was a very nice touch as well. Overall, I gotta say I would give this park about a 6.5 out of 10. It would have definitely been near the top of the list back in 1998, but compared to the parks and the modern parks today with all the different amenities, this stadium is fairly basic. I would place it in the middle of the road in terms of overall fan experience. But one caveat to this that I have to point out, the experience is dramatically improved when the dome is open. With the dome closed, it actually feels a bit dark and almost like a cave compared to other stadiums. I was surprised how dark it felt. But if you have been there when it's open, it really feels like a beautiful outdoor park. I was actually very impressed. So, what do you think of my review? Do you agree with my assessment of Chase Field? Let me know in the comments. Happy to hear from you, and I'll respond to anybody that thinks differently. The next day it was time to head home. I packed up and hopped in an Uber for the 30-minute ride back downtown to catch my flight. Sky Harbour International Airport is the main airport in Phoenix. It's pretty conveniently located very close to the downtown area, which is also very centralized to the greater Phoenix area in general. One of the better airports in terms of location within a city, in my opinion. Sky Harbour is a mid-sized regional airport with international flights. There's nothing really that stands out about this airport, to be honest. Decent retail offerings, and one thing I don't like is the restaurant selection at this airport is really limited. I think there might be one full-service restaurant down the side of the terminal where the E-gates are, which is where I go, and I think there are only 2 on the other side, maybe 3 at most, and not many good food outlets either. I think this is one area that they can really improve on in this airport. I did see some space under construction this time when I was walking through the airport, so hopefully they can add 2 or 3 more. That would really make it a lot better, I think. There was safe passage through security. There was not many lineups at all. And once I got through, I was able to check out some of the retail, as I mentioned, and finally head down the main pathway over to my side, which was the E-gates, as I mentioned before as well. In my side of the airport, there was actually a United Lounge, and that was right near my gate. It was actually just a few gates over from where I was supposed to go, so I had a chance to check it out. I had some time, and I went over and had a look. It's a pretty standard United Lounge, to be honest. With the typical United Lounge offerings, it's actually quite small compared to the other United Lounges I've found, and especially the ones I've reviewed recently, which have been very huge and very impressive. But it was still a nice spot to relax, have some coffee, and if I wanted something, I could have a snack. I just wasn't that hungry at this point. Finally, it was time to head home, and it was head to my gate. Pretty basic sitting areas in this terminal, and before long, I got onto my flight. It was a Rouge flight again, but this time I took the middle seat in order to stay in the exit row. My legs and knees needed a bit more space for the trip home, so I'm really glad I made that choice. And it was a far more comfortable flight home than it was on the way to Phoenix. The flight home was smooth, and I was happy to be back in Toronto, even though it was like 10 degrees Celsius cooler than it was down in Phoenix. So, what did you think about my trip and my reviews? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. It'll help me make my future videos even better. And most importantly, click like, click subscribe, and follow me for more travel adventures, travel tips and advice, and more at Solo Travel 44.